Word has got back to me and the old man from Del Monte.
Someone's got a big one.
We need a new target, lads.
This is one incredible adventure.
It is.
The fishing.
The fishing. Three fishing-mad amigos travel the world with one thing on their minds: carp.
Have a look at that. What a creature.
I'm Ali Hamidi.
Yes! Yes!
I'm Tom Dove. That's a huge old fish.
And I'm Neil Spooner. Look at that, a thing of absolute beauty.
Together, we're angling across the planet to find the biggest carp in the world.
My heart is racing.
As a species, they've grown to mythical sizes.
I'd be deeply disappointed if one of you two catch it.
But our journey changes dream to reality.
Yes!
We'll take you on a wild ride to some epic locations.
That is spectacular.
We'll take on new challenges.
I'm dealing with it so well.
We'll push ourselves to the limits.
No!
But most of all, we'll catch monster carp.
Blessed relief.
This week, we're blasting off on a road trip into Western Europe, where we'll be casting our lines into two of the three countries that make up the Benelux.
Our destination for big carp was the Netherlands, a country renowned across Europe for its abundance of angling opportunities. With its network of famous canals and big lakes, this place holds a wealth of gigantic carp that have been caught to over 70 pounds.
But our fishing exploits as a team in the Netherlands were limited, with Spooner the only one to really flex his muscles, catching a selection of fine carp, with the biggest being an impressive 46 pounds.
Now, before we got stuck into those big Dutch brutes, we made a pit stop in Belgium for a quick fish-off to decide who gets first choice of swim at the main event. Our battleground was the River Meuse, right on the border of Holland, a wildlife haven, and the species we would be fishing for is the mighty barbel. These golden torpedo river rockets are known for their explosive speeds and hard-fighting battles. They are found all over Europe, and the current world record is just over 21 pounds.
The only problem is, our track record of targeting barbel is terrible. Catching all manner of species on the way, we are yet to catch a single one.
So barbel, the great nemesis of our travels, is going to decide, the biggest one is going to decide who gets first jibs at the main carp lake. Are you hopeful?
Yeah, let's do it. Today's happening. One of us, at least, is having a barbel.
To give us the best chance of catching the elusive barbel, we were splitting up, drawing straws to decide who goes where. Surprise, surprise, I got last pick, and with us being right on the border of Belgium, I was actually now fishing in Holland.
What a lovely little spot. Who needs friends when you've got an area that looks like this?
Leaving the other two back in Belgium, fishing the locals' favourite stretch.
If we don't catch a barbel here, mate, we're giving up barbel fishing altogether.
Oh, I gave up barbel fishing about 3 trips ago.
You never started.
I'm just here for the day out.
To catch these tricky specimens, we're going to have to make sure our rigs are on point.
For starting approach for the barbel, I'm going to go what I use back in the UK. It's just a little pellet hook bait, size 10 mixer hook, 4-foot fluorocarbon to a feeder there, a gripper-style feeder loaded with fishy ground bait, bit of hemp seed, bit of pellet, few maggots, and the idea is that'll trickle down, and that 4-foot length of hook link at the very end will have that little hook bait just sitting there waiting to be the first bit of food they snare.
We were using very similar tactics, but with a slight hook bait tweak, using a combination of real and fake maggots. With all the rigs tied and rods set up, it was time to cast out and start the comp.
With the rods all set, it was now a waiting game to see who gets the first bit of action.
Yours is just going to hoop, bro. 3-foot twitch, mate. 3-foot twitch. Go on, Neil. That's definitely a barbel.
Yeah. We should have planned our route before we got a bite. There's no way this is a barbel.
Does that reckon?
It can't be. We don't catch barbel.
It's a barbel.
It's a barbel? Oh, my goodness.
Do not lose it.
Oh, don't say that.
Do not lose it.
Come on. This can't be about to happen. Yeah! It's happened!
Well done, mate.
Right, I really don't care how big it is because it's my first ever barbel. But for now, I'll take £7 10 ounces. But more importantly, it's first place. Do you know what? I can see why people fish for these all the time. What a magnificent creature. £7 10 ounces of pristine barbel. What a fish, man.
A healthy benchmark set by Spooner, but the local info is that there are lots around that size, and if we can catch another, then there's every chance of something bigger.
No. Wait, yes. It's holding its ground very, very well. Slow, and when they swim upstream, I always say they're good fish. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's what it's all about. What a buzz. Just getting some signs. It's a good fish, that, I tell you. That's a big barbel. Go on, go on, go on. Yes! Whew.
It's a great start from Ali, but is it bigger than Spooner's? It looks close.
£8.9. I am taking every last ounce of that.
Weighing nearly a whole pound bigger than Spooner's, this put Ali into first place, while I'm still yet to get off the mark.
Oh, every time I catch one of these, I'm always so happy. They are completely majestic in every single way.
This one, just over £8, 9 ounces. A beautiful Prince of the River. Lovely.
We were now midway through the first day, and finally, Dovey was attached to his first barbel.
They're powerful, these old fish in this current.
Whoa!
The pressure was now on to land it.
Yes!
Sadly, this was the smallest of the three so far, and not shaking up the leaderboard, Dovey goes flying in at third place, also known as last.
But with an afternoon and another morning still ahead of us, there was plenty of time to catch something bigger. And as the clock ticked down, all three of us got stuck into more barbel. Unfortunately, none of these fine specimens threatened to mix up the current standings. Day one was now over, but with half a day left, there was still all to play for.
The following morning, we were raring to go. For Spooner, it was back to the same spot, while myself and Dovey gambled and headed to a new area that may hold a few bigger specimens.
Currently, I'm sitting proudly on the top of the leaderboard, but if I saw someone catch an even bigger one, beautiful. Don't mean that, really.
You don't, I know you don't.
With the stakes so high, having that first choice of swim is so important in having the best chance of success. And with time running out, I knew one bite could potentially change everything.
Oh, and another one.
That's right. It's conceivable that there might be 10 or 15 fish down here, slightly bigger than ours, so every bite is exciting. And when you know you've only got a few hours fishing, it just adds a little bit more drama to it all.
We were in Belgium, coming to the end of a barbel match, with the winner getting the all-important first pick of swim at the Carp Lake. Ali was winning, but with not much time left, Spooner was in.
You don't look like a bad fish. I hope it's as big as it looked when I first saw it. It just looks that bit bigger. He's the right sort of size. He's that same sort of stamp. Come on, mate. Old rubber lips. Get in there. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
With Ali's barbel weighing £8 9 ounces, this one looked close.
That is £9 2, otherwise known as current first place. Look at that. Talk about perfection. £9 2 ounces. I've got no idea how the other boys are getting on at the minute, but I'm quite pleased with that.
Do you want the bad news, or do you want the bad news?
I'll have the bad news, even though I can't really have any bad news at the minute. I'm in third place.
Well, you're still in third,
Shock.
but I have now slipped into second.
It's actually made me happy.
We shouldn't have moved, mate.
Unlucky, lads. And with no more barbel caught, the final rankings were as follows. Dovey last, Ali second, and me, the winner.
Never caught a single barbel before, but not only have I caught one now, I've caught the biggest one amongst us, which gives me first choice at the carp lake.
With the competition settled and knowing our places, we set off on the last leg of our journey and headed north into Holland towards one of Europe's up-and-coming commercial carp lakes. But with only a few miles left, disaster struck and we were halted in our tracks.
Sorry boys, there's a cock in the road.
There's actually 3 cocks in the road.
Actually 2 big cocks and 1 little cock. The irony of it all.
With the road clear, nothing was going to stop us now as we approached our final destination.
Set in the rural countryside of Drempf is one of Holland's premier carp lakes, Karplantis. This will be our home for the next week.
This 17-acre disused quarry has an abundance of underwater features, but its biggest challenge is the depth, which in the centre of the lake is over 44 feet. Making this a real test for even the most experienced angler, but the rewards are there to be had. What makes this place so special is its high pedigree stock of amazing carp.
It has 250 unique, stunning and quality carp with an insane average of around 40 pounds, with the largest carp to date a huge 71 pounds 3 ounces. One of them will do us nicely.
Well, first choice to swim, gone in Zeus. Gives a lovely view of the whole lake, as each of the swims do, but this swim did a lot of bites last week. I think it did 24. That's always a worry dropping in behind someone else, but I've already seen lots of activity here. I know exactly where I'm going to be fishing, so whilst the boys are out in the boat now trying to work out exactly where they're going to put their rods, I can hit the ground running and hopefully get a fish before dark. That's the plan.
With 3 swims left to choose from, we tapped up the lake owner coast to find out as much info on the lake as possible. By being out in the boat, we were able to accurately study the lakebed features with the echo sounder to help us find potential feeding spots for the carp.
That's a right old bar, that one.
With the lake being so deep, it was vital to find features at shallower depths to be able to present your bait on. So after finding a shallow bar towards the north of the lake, I decided to fish swim 4, called Poseidon.
With 2 positions left to choose from, I decided to go into swim 3, Neptune, where we identified 2 shallow bars, one to my right and one close to Spooner, and more importantly, where the bites had come from the previous week.
Both spots look really good. There's massive bars that come up. We're just going to be fishing on the back side of them. So in about 6 or 7 metres of water seems to be doing the fish this time of year. So it's looking pretty good, actually.
With the swims all chosen, it was time to set our camps up, take a deep breath with our thoughts firmly transfixed on what was swimming out there.
This lake has got an incredible average weight of over 40 pounds. However, we want to push ourselves. We want to catch a 50 pounder, and there's obviously not quite as many of those. But if we could leave with one of them, we'll be double happy.
This lake is not going to be a pushover. The average catch per angler during a week is around 5 carp, apart from in Spooner's swim, which can be a flyer in the right hands. So snaring one of the big uns is not going to be easy, and our tactics would need to be spot on.
I was going to start with 2 different approaches. First, my favourite combi rig, which features a supple section of braid attached to a stiff boom, giving it awesome hooking capability. The other is something a bit naughty.
This is a little solid bag setup. You cast out, or in this case, lower it from a boat. Inside there's my lead, my little hair rig, an attractive hook bait, and a load of pellet. But the clever bit is that this all dissolves once it's been in the water for a little amount of time. You've got a perfect little pile of bait for Mr. Carp to come in on, suck the lot up, and we get a carp. Let's give it a go.
With the abundance of super deep water in front of myself and Tom, it's unlikely that the fish will be feeding on the bottom, so it was the perfect time to use a technique called zig fishing, more specifically an adjustable zig, a method that I was still learning, but Tom, on the other hand, was a seasoned pro.
This ingenious approach allows us to fish different depths in the lake with a floating hook bait suspended up in the water, mimicking a piece of natural food. This is aided by a buoyant flow, which is all free running through a running lead system. To adjust the height of the hook bait, we simply pay off line from the reel by releasing a foot of line. The hook bait floats up the equivalent length and the same in reverse. This allows us to quickly and easily explore the lake's depths, scoping out where the carp are swimming due to the changing thermocline, which is where the water temperature and oxygen drop off quickly across a small change in water depth. This lake's thermocline is around 5 metres below the surface, so our starting depth was just above this. Now, to get these adjustable zigs out efficiently, I was using one of the crew to help.
Putting them out by boat is so much better than casting them. I know they're perfect.
While the lads were putting their first rods out by a rowing boat, I was planning on utilising my bait boat's GPS feature to find and mark the areas I was going to fish and then dropping off my adjustable zigs.
Probably the most technical bit of fishing you could do, the most complicated approach, without a doubt.
I now had all 3 rods out on the bar. Dovey was busy covering all bases, fishing and baiting a couple of spots on the shallower bars, and Ali had 2 of his rods now fishing zigs in the middle of the lake. And he had a cunning idea for his remaining rods.
Tactically, I'm only going to start with them 2 rods out, and the area to my right between the 2 marker poles is just being baited and left for the first night, and see if I can trick them into coming in there, feeding confidently, and then I'll put a rod there tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good.
The rods are out and anticipation is high. Who would catch first? Will we get off the mark early? What will the night hold?
Nothing to report from any of us, no bites last night, but we've all seen fish this morning, heard some last night, and I've had the odd little bleep and watched a few rolling just behind the spot, so hopefully it's just a matter of time.
First light is always a great time for a bite, and it wasn't long until we had our first indication. A single bleep from my alarm was all that I needed.
Fish on!
This early morning carp was already wide awake and was charging off around to the right of Ali. And with access to a boat, Ali decided to quickly launch and take the battle to the carp.
Oh, I tell you what, my heart is absolutely pounding.
Fishing adjustable zigs is never straightforward, and the chances of losing a carp is increased if you don't play them carefully.
Nervy, nervy stuff. This fish has picked up the other line. And when it's your first one from a new water on your first morning, you really, really want to get it in. Yes! Yes! Yes!
He's just landed it. It's always good to get off the mark this early into a trip.
The fish was safely brought back to the bank to find out how big our first carp is.
We are off the mark with a 31-pound, 6-ounce mirror carp. What a brilliant start for the team as well. That's going to give us so much confidence going forward, especially Tom and I, who are using those zigs. This will really, really fuel our fire.
Not only had it fueled our fire, it also marked the start of the action for us, as Dovey was now into his first carp, and before I put my rod back out, I went to join in.
Oh! This is a good start, isn't it?
This is a good start, mate, yeah.
Always a buzz, isn't it, getting a bite in a new place?
Yeah, it's the first one.
Yeah. And then you just want to go up the size spectrum. Fast.
Oh, that's a nice
scaly one.
Nice looking mirror, isn't it? Go on, boy. Hey!
Well done, bro.
Yeah, boy.
Yes!
Look at that.
These zig rigs were definitely working for the boys as I watched on as Dovey got another bite. I was starting to wonder if I'd made the right swim and tactical choices.
It's very difficult for me to tell how these fish are feeding because I'm playing them so lightly, but this does feel heavy.
This carp has also picked up my other line, but with the help from the crew, I managed to eventually get this carp close to the bank and ready for netting.
That's quite a big common, that. It's quite a big common. Come on. Look at the size of that. That is a nice fish. Yes! That's a lovely sized common, that.
With 2 in the net, it was time to find out how big they were. The first weighed in at an ounce under 34 pounds. What a beautiful way to start that is. I've even got a bigger common in the net just down there. That is 43 pounds 2 ounces. And a very big smile on my face. What an absolute bruiser that is. 34-pound mirror straight into this 43 pounds 2 ounce common. They're getting bigger already. What on earth is this week going to bring? Look at the frame of that. I'm a happy man.
For Dovey and I, we couldn't have asked for a better start, but to have a chance of catching our target 50-pounder, we needed everyone catching. So Spooner, not content with watching us having all the fun, prepared a 4th rod.
Well, the lads have had all their bites on zigs, and I saw a lot of fish this morning out over the really deep water, so if you can't beat them, join them.
While Spooner joined the zig gang, Ali was proving once again why this is the tactic to be using.
Yes!
Unbelievable. 4 carp under our belts already. A lot more than we ever expected at this stage.
Woo!